Hello everyone, this is ODST Halo Guide, and I am Perplexality. And today we're starting a series that I am very excited about. It's called the Art of War series for my channel. I'm going to take the book, Art of War, the strategy guide that has been used for the last 3,000 years by plenty of militaries to succeed in winning in battles. I'm going to break it down to the basic strategies and talk about how it applies to Halo. And I'm going to talk about each chapter. Now, the laying plans is basically just the introductory chapter, so there isn't a lot of meat in it. So basically, I used a short gameplay. It's a big Team Slayer game right here, where I got a 31 kill perfection or something like that. Plenty of multi-kills, so it's great. But it doesn't have a lot of meat here, but it does have some basic things that you've heard me talk about before, just in different words. So let's go ahead and get started. And by the way, this is all from a free ebook that I have on my iPhone. That's what I'm reading off of. And also, I got a book for like $10. So it doesn't cost much to read this. It's free for if you can find it online. It's outside of the copyright laws because the author's been dead for 3,000 years. So there's no copyright on it, so you can find it all over the internet. So there's no reason for you not to read this book. It's amazing. I highly suggest it. But let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and start off with like the very first quote in the book. It says, Sun Tzu said, "The art of war is of vital importance to the state. It is a matter of life and death, a road to either safety or to ruin. Hence it is subject to inquiry which can on no account be neglected. The art of war, then, is governed by 5 constant factors to be taken into account in one's deliberations, when seeking to determine the conditions obtaining to the field. These are 1. The moral law, 2. Heaven, 3. Earth, 4. The commander, and 5. Method of discipline." So basically, when he's saying to be taken into account, he's just saying that you need to make sure you pay attention to these 5 things before you start picking fights. You know, if you're going to pick a fight, then it's not going to go well for you. And again, this is not just gaming and battle. This is in life. You don't want to pick fights with people without making sure you have a good reason to and that you're able to do it well. So basically, we're just going to go ahead and get started. We'll be covering each of these 5 things in this video. So 1 is the moral law. The moral law causes the people to be in complete accordance with their ruler, so that will follow him regardless of their lives, undismayed by danger. So basically, you need to make sure you're doing what you were doing for the right reason. In Halo, this means that you're trying to get kills, so you want to make sure people are backing you up. You don't want to be going in alone. And because people are willing to go get kills and they're fighting for the same thing as you, they will follow you. So make sure you always have someone backing you up, basically, is what he's saying. And in life, he's saying that don't pick fights unless you have complete accordance with other people. If you are picking a fight for a good reason, other people will support you too. And with more people, you're more likely to win. And this has to do with anything. Protesting, for example. Now, heaven signifies night and day, cold and heat, times and seasons. These account for variables. Things that change, like times and seasons change throughout the year. Heat and cold changes. So you need to make sure that you're able to account for these variables. In Halo, it could be power weapons. Like that dude with the rockets, I didn't account for the fact that he had rockets. And by all means, I should have died there. I'll admit it. I probably should not have gotten this perfection. But I did, just because of dumb luck. And had that guy just been a little better with the rockets, I would have lost. So you need to make sure you account for different things like that and variables that happen. Whether or not it's the amount of people you're facing or power weapons that are placed that they have. Now we'll move on to Earth. Says on line 8, Earth compromises distances great and small, danger and security, open ground and narrow passes, the chance of life and death. Now basically, Earth is all the constants in the game that you need to be focusing on. Constants such as the amount of people that are with you, the weapons that you have, things that you know are not liable to change based on who you're fighting or what's happening. So basically, the layout of your ground is very important. And in real life, this is basically saying the equivalent to, you need to make sure that when you are picking out a fight, you know exactly what you're getting into. You know the constants of the fight, like the layout of something that's happening. Whether it be the political layout, or whether or not it be the just an actual fight in the layout of wherever you guys are fighting. You need to make sure you take into account what is around you. Like high ground right here, I'm staying on high ground and I'm able to use the advantage. I'm not sitting around on low ground because it's not as advantageous. So we'll move on to the commander. The commander stands for the virtues of wisdom, sincerely, benevolence, courage, and strictness. Basically, all this is saying is the leader needs to be standing right for the people. Whether or not it's the leader of a political group, he represents everyone, and he needs to make sure that they are acting to the best interest of the whole group. In Halo, this means that there isn't necessarily a general or a team leader or something like that, but there is someone giving a call out. And whenever you're giving a call out, you just need to make sure you're giving the right call out, making sure you're not telling people to do things that they just can't do, or things that wouldn't be beneficial to you. So you need to make sure you're giving the right things, saying the right things to everyone, and making sure that whatever you say works well and applies to everyone and helps everyone, or at least the most people possible. Like giving call outs, you want to make sure that you give a correct call out. You want to be yelling at someone when someone's no longer there. Now, the last one is method of discipline. Method and discipline are to be understood the marshalling of the army in its proper subdivisions, the graduation of rank among officers, the maintenance of roads by which supplies may reach the army, and the control of military expenditure. This basically means that you're controlling how people listen to you. So if you are giving call-outs, you are telling people to do something, make sure they listen to you. As long as they're correct, there's no reason that they should not be listening to you. Sun Tzu, one of his famous quotes is that if someone doesn't listen to the general, it's the general's fault. He actually killed some people to make a point, when he was starting up his story. I might actually give a background story on Sun Tzu later. But basically, what he's saying is, when you do give call-outs, you do say something that is important and that applies and helps everyone, make sure people are listening to you. Because if they aren't, then what you're saying has no effect at all. If you give a call-out and no one's listening to you, what's the point? In real life, if you're saying something that benefits everyone and no one listens to you, what's the point? So that's pretty much all he's saying. Now, there's a lot more. This is just the very bare bones stuff. It gets a lot more interesting later. But thank you guys for watching. We're pretty much out of time. Comment, rate, and subscribe for more of this series. I'm really excited about it. I hope you guys will be too. Feel free to check it out online. I'm ODST Halo Guide, and I hope you guys had a great day. Thanks for watching. ODST, out.